Okay, good morning, Star Wars players. Welcome to another Outrider Cup match. This one between ChrisKelly and Stefan DeVos. Sorry for the late start here. I got back from breakfast a little later than I expected, and we're just jumping into this game a couple turns in. Here we are only on turn 3, and we'll try and get you caught up on what's been happening. I'm just going to go back through the old chat log. So we got Hunt down against Tig, which is a pretty good matchup for. I'm sorry, against uh, there's good in him. No, he is the chosen one. HITCO. Ugh. Sorry. Off to a rough start already this morning. Um, and my camera's off a little bit too. No, too far. There we go. All right. So Fox got Vane out. Probably used him to pull to Castle. He got the other 2-0 out. Kind of got some good activation. He's up to 15 already. He's got Vader Enforcer with his lightsaber camped out. Looks like he went 12 card start. Um, at the Endor Ewok Village. And then Luke went to the battle planes, and now looks like Maul has shown up. Yep. So this is the Maul who can't use blaster deflection. They can't do anything about his weapon destiny draws. So this is the Maul that's pretty good for clearing people out. Let me just get my Twitch feed up. ChrisKelly so far has lost a Wisa and a rescue. And another rescue. And another Wisa. They both lost ships early on, Fly Casual and Maul Sith Infiltrator. So he deployed Maul, but did not battle with Maul. He's just using Maul to block the drain. Interesting. Okay. Dylan, thank you for renewing your subscription. Very much appreciate that. All right, so let's see what we got. Ray comes down, Lando comes down. So ChrisKelly going for the big overflow. You have to believe that Maul wouldn't have done this play um, if he wasn't planning on having a kick or something like that. All right, so he's got the Lana Dobreed combo to at least protect Maul's forfeit, which I believe is for the remainder of turn. Yep. So even if any of these other, even if Ray were to hit as well, Chris can't blaster deflection his way out of this one. But he draws low and misses with the first swing. So now he has to think about swinging at guaranteed targets. Nope, he's going for Luke again. He's going to try and get the Jedi off the table, try and get the visage damage. And this one's going to hit. So Luke will be hit and forfeit 0 unless he's got some type of answer for that. He's got the first aid combo. That'll protect Luke's forfeit as well, so Luke will be the only one who dies in this scenario. And Rey and Lando will get to live to fight another day. And Fox is going to grab that. We'll see if, does Ray want to swing? He has secret plans out, so he'd have to pay 1 to retrieve. Then he'd have to pay 1 for upkeep. That would only leave him with 1 force, which would be enough to retrieve with Lando on the following turn if a counterattack were to come. He would get Obi back as well, which at this point in time he just might need. And yep, that'll definitely hit. So he is going to swing with Ray. He'll take the 1 retrieval. While he can here. We haven't seen an I Have You Now yet. We did see a Hear Me Baby drawn for Destiny, so have to wonder if Fox does have the Gick. He's going for the You Are Beaten. He's going to You Are Beaten to exclude Luke. So my guess is he does not have the Gick if he's doing that. And he's just trying to cut down on the battle damage here because Maul forfeits for 8. So he covers up to 15. It's a good move. It guarantees that somebody else will die here in this battle. Light side's going to draw 2 Battle Destiny. They're only at 11. So a pretty good chance dark side doesn't take any overflow here because that's going to get him up to 15, which is what Maul covers. So then it's basically 1 draw each. And he gets a 3. ChrisKelly with a ton of foils in his deck here. Oh, he does draw a 1. Does he have a Sith Fury to redraw that? No. Alright, so it'll be Maul and 2, and he'll stack a card for losing a battle. So a successful battle for ChrisKelly. Not quite the overflow beatdown he was certainly hoping for. You had to wonder when Fox saved as much force as he did and didn't really draw a lot of cards. He must have had some type of defensive interrupts. But you got to go for it and try and make some headway there. So he loses a Maul from table, and then he top decks 2, and there goes a second copy of Maul Lone Hunter and a Weapon Lev. And we just saw him draw the 3rd copy of Maul for Battle Destiny. So chances are he does not have any more Mauls in his hand. He's going to activate quite a bit, though. Oh, and Chris loses a Jedi Luke to Visage off the top. And Chris chose to forfeit Lando and keep Rey there wisely. Vader will get a drain of 3 now, which is going to be problematic. Chris is going to top deck some cards. There goes another Luke. Sorry about the mess combo. And the Force is strong with this one. And now we've got a Kylo. Kylo versus Rey at the Naboo Battle Plains, just like in the movies. Emperor's going to go back up Vader now. It's going to really just fortify that drain site. And we will see if... Nope, he's just going to battle. I would have thought he might have wanted to pull Coward. Oh, there's the blaster deflection now to cancel the weapon targeting. Wow, he's got the female interrupt. Adds a Destiny to power, and she is completely immune to attrition now. And now Rey's going to get a swing in here. And if she hits, she'll get to retrieve that Luke. Another of the force is strong with this one. So I guess Chris was expecting that whoever was going to play him was going to play Hunt Down, and or figuring he would play light side mains, and somebody would then go on dark side mains, and he would just tech up heavy for that. So Kylo's hit. He gets to retrieve the Luke. Kylo's forfeit 0. Rey's immune to attrition. He's adding a destiny to power and getting a battle destiny. Light side's probably going to win this battle and get a card stack. Unless they draw Hujix for power destiny. Alright, so they're tied. Not ideal, again, for light side. Oh, and then dark side draws a character. Alright, some massive destinies here in these light side, in these mains decks these guys have drawn so far. Wow. That is absolutely atrocious. That's a tie. He doesn't even get the card stack. Wow. That's very lucky for Fox, as he points out in the chat. He should have been taking at least a handful of overflow there between a destiny to power and a battle destiny and being forfeit 0. Yeah, he should have lost at least 3 or 4 cards. And he will draw a couple. He's already used his grabber, so he draws them all. Dark side with a slight advantage here in terms of total life force remaining. They're at 36. Light side's at 31. I'll probably pay to drain here. Drop Luke for 6 to flip the objective back and then draw a handful of cards. Tomas! At 4 months? Absolutely. Yeah, just email Kevin. And no, I'm just kidding. Thank you for renewing your subscription. Yep. He did not pay to drain. Okay. He's just going to redeploy Luke, flip the objective back, get the lightsaber, and I guess he's just going to draw a handful of cards here. Oh, he's got Jin. With how Fox has been drawn, the possibility of a Force Lightning missing certainly could come into play. And then Chris is going to draw a couple of cards here. He'll take all 3. We'll see if he uses Like My Father to put one back or not. Yep, he will. And they will both lose to Visage. If Jin can block the drain for a turn or 2, this could be a very good way for ChrisKelly to get back in the matchup here, to turn things back in his favor. He's only slightly behind right now, so any turns that he doesn't get force drained would be a big advantage. Also, if he gets his opponent to burn his Force Lightning and miss, he probably already... Nope, he didn't get to verify, so the Force Lightning must have been in there. And now he's going to verify how many cards he has that can actually hit Jin. And they'll have to decide whether or not it's worth it to just try and blind draw, which hasn't gone so well for either of these players so far this game. He's got 10 cards in his deck, so it's a simple percentage there. How many cards does he have that are 3 or higher? And is he concerned about something like their tracking us that could subtract 1? It's not as commonly played anymore. So Hopefully we can release the V-card updates finally today. Are you talking about the new sets, the new errata and stuff like that? Yeah, those won't be released for about another week on GEMP. I don't know if there's a PDF, version that you guys will have out there. That you guys will get out there sooner than that, depending on where graphics is with all that work. But we'll go with this. But in terms of those cards being released to GEMP, that will not happen for another week. PDF is ready. Excellent. Well, good job then. Good job to graphics improving. All right, so Fox is going to go for the Force Lightning. I guess he liked his chances. We'll see if he can get that done. He draws Presence of the Force and misses. That's going to sting. He may have a sniper in there in the deck as well. Let's see if he has to burn that or if he has anything else going on. Otherwise, this may just be a draw turn for Fox. He might just have to draw a bunch of cards and see what he can dig out. There are no other battlegrounds on the table. The presence of the Force could certainly turn any of those locations into battlegrounds, particularly the Jedi Council Chamber. Reading the chat, apparently out of the 10 cards in his reserve deck, Fox says that was the only one that would have missed. Not sure I buy that based on his Destiny draws the previous turn. That should have been floating around in the bottom. But, maybe he shuffled or something beforehand. They've both drawn pretty poorly in key situations so far, so at least Jemp is keeping it balanced. It's not, tilting one side or the other. Yeah, I was an issue with logging into the Twitch this morning, and since I was already running late, I didn't have a chance to switch this from Dan playing his game last night. So it was more of a let's just get this stream up and running and I'll fix the title later. But thank you for pointing that out. So after taking about 3 minutes to just chat about how poorly they've both drawn, Fox is now going to use Surface Defense to get no escape. And he's going to no escape to get the Force Lightning back into hand. That's pretty crucial to get that Force Lightning back now before Visage buries it at the end of the turn. Oh, and he's got Ice Heart. Okay, so he does have answers. He got the Force Lightning back. There's Ice Heart. Who's going to break Jin's cover and could certainly layeth the smacketh down, if you will. And that's certainly going to force ChrisKelly into finding a solution for that real quick with his 4-card hand. And since he already drew a Hujix for Destiny the previous turn, and he's got no place to move her to, he's either got to throw additional characters down with the 4-card hand, or he just has to basically just activate and draw, trying to get to the Hujix or a puller for it. Maybe he's got 2. Maybe he's got 2 Hujix. Ooh, and a garrison as well. Garrison will add to the force drain, which with the limited number of battlegrounds on the table is highly unlikely to ever get capped by something like Ultimatum. And the Odin Nestler combo is grabbed, so he doesn't even have that as a way to transport her off planet. Unless he's got another one of those. Vane is going to activate a force. And he will pay the maintenance cost. And each player will lose a card to Visage. And they both lose from deck. I have you now, and I think that's Wisa number 3 for Chris that he's lost now. Alright, Chris will pay to drain this turn. That'll move the Prophecy, at least, reducing that drain over there by 1. And make his opponent lose a couple cards, which he top decks all of them. There goes Force Push number 2, Vane, and a Dr. E combo. And that moves Prophecy. He's got Obi. He's going to need more than that, because we know he's got the Force Lightning in hand. And Ahsoka. Alright. Yeah, you got to believe that he's got to initiate the battle here. And just hope to lose all 3 guys and just end the battle. He doesn't want his opponent necessarily to add more to this pile. And be able to, you know, incur more damage and overflow. But Chris is not going to battle. He's going to give his opponent that window. Fox did draw a bunch of cards. I mean, if he's got Force Lightning used on Obi and then like a sniper or something, and then he can hit Jin in the battle and just overflow the crap out of Ahsoka. He's adding a Battle Destiny with the Garrison. Oh, there's the Force Lightning lost. He's just going to try and take Jin out right here. I'll get rid of a bunch of power and forfeit. And yep, that'll hit. And now Chris will get to peek at Stefan's hand and see what those remaining 6 cards are, and then know just how much trouble he might be in. I have to think he's playing 2 Hujiks based on the way he did this. If he wasn't going to battle himself, it's because he was trying to block a drain for 1 more turn, and possibly not take overflow, but at least have the possible ability of having a second Hujix to get himself out of this situation. I don't know. I mean, I have the deck lists. I could go look, but what fun would that be? Boba Fett Bounty Hunter. Ouch. That's 2 more Battle Destiny and 7 more power. Yeah, see, this is what you're afraid of. If you don't battle your opponent last turn, you give them the opportunity to add more to the pile and cause more overflow, which Chris should know. He's a top-notch player, and with his opponent having 7 cards in hand and the Force Lightning likely to get rid of somebody, you'd have to believe. I have to believe he had a way out of this that wasn't going to result in game-ending overflow. And a Grand Inquisitor as well for additional damage. Yeah, obviously he's losing a similar number of cards. He does move the Prophecy, which gives him an additional drain for a turn, making his opponent lose an extra card. Um, there's a Blaster Deflection to block the Lightsaber swing, so that helps a little bit. He's still down 22. He's going after Fett. Is that last card in his hand like a sorry about the mess or something? We saw him lose 1 earlier. He doesn't have enough force for a clash. And that will hit Boba. Not that he had enough force to pay the maintenance on Boba and the garrison and stuff anyway, but if he's got the mess, this could save him a beatdown. Could save him a whole bunch of cards. No mess. So we're going to Battle Destiny. Captain Sarkley. What the? Close opponent's non-battleground location. Opponent generates no force here. Wow. So Ahsoka does subtract 1 from each Destiny draw. So Sarkley's a 1. He draws a Vader for a 0, an Emperor for a 5, and another Vader for another 0. So 4 Battle Destiny nets him a total of 6. That's pretty good for ChrisKelly. He's down 28. His guys cover 15 and forfeit. So that's 20. So he's going to peel like 7 cards here, but he's not completely out of the game. He's probably still going to lose this game now. He loses 1 to the Grand Inquisitor as well. He's going to lose 2 to the Grand Inquisitor, actually. For each Jedi, they lose a force. So he's actually going to lose. He's going to be pretty low here. And, he'll get 1 or 2 force drains in that he can pay for. And then a Visage damage or 2, which will cut some diff. But looks like Fox is going to win this game. It's just going to be maybe 5 or 6 cards less than this being a game-ending beatdown. Nope, no Hoojiks. Resilience, Blaster Deflection, Skywalkers, Escape Pod Solo, Bionic Hand, the Force is strong with this one, and a Luke off the top. So Chris is down to 12 left down, 1 in hand. They're both going to lose 1 at the end of the turn. Emperor soaks up the dark side forfeit along with Boba Fett. So Chris will get a drain of 4 in at the battle planes this turn. They'll both take 1 to Visage. He'll get drained. Prophecy will move. Visage, he'll get another drain of 3 in. And maybe 1 more after that before he's out of force that he'd be able left to pay for it. So he can still peel, force his opponent to peel somewhere between 8 and 11 cards, which will really help out with the differential going into game 2. He's currently down by Fox has 20 left face down. We'll see if Fox has anything left in those 4 cards in his hand. He also does have a Walkling he can lose here at any point in time to retrieve something. Still surprised that Fox hasn't pulled Coward yet, and there it is now, finally. Yeah, Chris was saving the force for a grabber in case Fox played something, so he could take a card away from him, and now missed the opportunity to do his Walkling retrieval. Also makes you wonder if he had those Jin and Obi and characters in hand earlier in the game. Why not kill Vane? Maybe we missed that Fox pulled a Gick earlier in the game, so it would have been a bit of overkill. But certainly could have dropped Jin and Ahsoka or something here and overflowed Vane and then canceled Visage. Could have certainly dragged the game out a little bit. All right. Fox loses Crush. Chris top decks another Blaster Deflection. So he had at least 2 Blaster Deflections. And like we said, he will get a big drain of 4 in here. Fox did draw 1 or 2 cards as well at the end of his turn. Probably just looking for any type of character that he can stick out here to block a drain. But he's going to peel 4 right here. Let's see what... I assume Fox is going to lose most of the cards from his hand that he can afford to. Here, obviously, he's trying to protect his differential. Accelerate from a hand. Blizzard 4 off the top. Presence off the top. And the Vader off the top of the deck as well. So 3 cards off the top of the deck. Lowering that differential down to only 14 right now. There's Corrin Horn. That was the card he had left in his hand, was Corrin Horn. So Corrin Horn can kill Vane. And if he was tracking his opponent's destiny, I think that's light side's going to draw the Emperor. Dark side's going to draw the Emperor. The way he lost them off the top backwards. Yep. So they both die. Visage not canceled. If they, yeah, the cards below it are another Vader and that Captain Sarkley guy, which would have been less than Corrin Horn's forfeit. So ChrisKelly does get a little lucky there. That by him drawing higher than that, he has to lose a force. So he loses a card from Life Force first. Dark side forfeits Vane, then light side gets to forfeit Corrin Horn after he controls the location for the turn. So he does still get the end game goal of canceling Visage, which will slow down the damage a little bit. Might let him get 1 extra force drain in. Because right now he's going to get drained for 2 here. He's got 10 cards left. Takes him down to 8. He pays the drain. He gets cut down to 6. He pays the drain. Yeah, he can squeeze another round of drains in by not having the 2-card force loss from Visage each turn. And he'll get an extra drain of 3 in out of it, I think. They both have plenty of time left remaining on their timers. I know these guys had also talked about playing game 2 this morning as well. Hopefully we get a short break in between games. That'll give me a chance to update the stream and stuff. Twitch was being weird this morning. It didn't want to let me in to actually change stuff. Yeah. So there's a drain. I'm sorry, there's a drain of 3 that Chris gets now because of the garrison adding 1. There's a surface defense that'll put back to not pull anything. So, yeah, Chris might get 1 extra drain out of this He'll get the drain, he'll get drained, he'll get the drain, he'll get drained and basically be out of it. So, right now it's a 15 differential for Fox. Fox seeing if he's got anything else he can put back. If he has a Gick in hand and a character, it would save him 1 net card by deploying them and blocking a drain of 3. He would lose 2 cards from hand instead of 3 cards. Yep. That tells me he's got the Gick. And he's probably had it for a while. We probably saw him, the pull get missed early on in that first turn or 2. And with Coward out, Chris can't retrieve. Be interesting to see if he opts to lose 1 to send the garrison back as well at the end of his next turn. I would think so. Just to try and get 1 more card back in the life force. Lose a card from hand. But if Chris has a drain of 3 that he can still afford to pay for, he's just going to lose the 3 cards in hand anyway. Although 1 of those cards is going to be a Gick that he's going to have to use here. So, yeah, probably won't see him lose force to put the garrison back. he won't have any extra cards available. He'd be losing a card from deck to put a card back in the deck, and it's just not worth doing. You'd rather just either keep the garrison on the table and pay for it, or send him out of play to put one less card in your loss pile. So Chris is going to throw down at Captain Hera all by herself. He's going to battle. He won't have anything to draw for Destiny. He wins the battle, forces his opponent to stack a card. Well, so he does lose 3. I sometimes forgot about that card stack. He doesn't have to play the Gick, though, because he's not hit. So he just loses Tarkin. So it kind of works out the same. He can ditch the Wackling now and retrieve a card. Nope, he's just going to suicide himself and end the game. I feel like Chris could have gotten at least one more strain in here. He battles, he kills Tarkin, he gets the card stack. He's got 7 cards left. This is a drain of 4, which takes him down to 3. He gets to pay for one more drain here for 3 cards before dying. And he gets to take an extra card or 2 out of his opponent's hand, as opposed to just suiciding himself now and ending the game and giving his opponent a win. He could have just activated and drawn up as well, and then he would have had fewer cards in his loss pile. So not the most strategic way. Looks like they're going to take hopefully about a 10 or 15 minute break. So it's going to be a win by 15 for Fox in game number 1. I'm going to see if I can they're going to take a 5-minute break. Okay. So they're going to take a 5-minute break. I'm going to try and fix some streaming stuff, and we'll be right back with game number 2 in just a minute. All right, looks like we got the Twitch heading fixed. And thank you, Keith, for renewing your subscription. 12 months now. Congratulations. You are now eligible to receive a I Want That Map foil. Both sides, light and dark. Looks like we got about 2 or 3 minutes here, so I'm going to take a quick break and be right back as well. All right, we are back now. Looks like we're about to get started with game number 2. And we'll see what deck options we've got here. We've got ChrisKelly playing Hunt Down. And Fox looks like he's playing EBO. I can just look at the list. Yeah, that's what he's playing. So Chris lost game 1 by 15. And he looks like he's doing the first order setup. So he uses the first order starting effect, so he gets bow, and then his extra one effect, he'll take I am your father. I don't know if he's running a finalizer. Probably not. He's probably just using it for a couple of battleground pullers and getting the extra 1-0 here. He certainly could be running Jakku Battlegrounds, the village or something like that, as his battleground locations. No, he's using Sonic to get the downtown plaza. Okay. So he'll do that as his first action. He'll have a card to lose the Visage in the shuttle puller if he's not playing the shuttle. Chris is going to have to go pretty quick to try and get this below 15 or above 15 to win by more than 15. In terms of putting pressure on his opponent, getting good drains. He doesn't want to go to the third marker or the fourth marker there because he's just likely to get hit with an ice storm or something. So he does have his own battleground already, the downtown plaza. The question is going to be as to whether or not he's got Blizzard 4 or Vader or something right away to go there. He could have Kylo with a lightsaber as well. That site can't get hit with the projections that we usually see EBO run to try and minimize force loss. And an opening hand out of commission to cancel Visage. That's going to slow the damage down and certainly helps Fox out more than it does ChrisKelly. And it looks like Chris didn't have much to work with, so he's just going to draw a bunch of stuff here. Looking for either that Vader or the Blizzard 4 or something like that. That would have been in his force pile. So we'll see Fox here. He's got his generals. Let's see who he grabbed. I saw him grab Riken. I forget who the other one was. He has only grabbed Riken so far, it looks like. Oh, he grabbed Wallix Blissix as well, who is now fixed and should be completely working as intended. All right, so there's the two sites that he pulled. He'll also put Riken down. And he'll put Wallix out as well. And he pretty much has to draw the rest of these because he can't risk leaving any piece of his puzzle in the bottom of his force pile. If the third site was there, or if the EBO was the bottom card of his force pile, he could be in some trouble. It would set him back at least a whole sequence of turns, possibly more if he can't find a way to get through all that force. So he does have to draw up there and gets the last cards there. Chris is going to play some more foil locations because he's got quite a few of those going on. There's a Lord Vader. We'll see what he's got here. He's got a lightsaber. Does he have a no escape? Because that would be pretty interesting to get the Visage back out. Nope, no escape. He'll have a turn or so to find it. He also, of course, has to worry about Jyn Erso or somebody like that coming down to block his drain. He does draw one card back to 12. And then passes the turn. Hunt down being flipped. Not every EBO runs like a Luke or something like that, or a Leia. That would be a concern for the objective being on the 7 side. Fox does get the docking bay and the EBO, so we'll see him get himself up and running here, full speed. And there's Commander Luke. Okay, so he is running the Commander Luke speeder version. Seems to be the more popular version these days, but it also does put a few more cards on the table between the Echo-based Garrison and the speeders and stuff, but it does give it a bit more of a ground presence to hold that 4th marker and give it the ability to not have to pay to drain all game. So it makes the deck a little bit more stable, but it also means it wins by a few less cards, typically. Because you're just putting more stuff on in the table in play. And he's got Haven from hand as well. There's red 8. That'll get him a defensive shield. That card goes down for 0 between EBO and Haven. For those of you unfamiliar with Haven, we'll take a quick peek at it. There you go. Ships deploy -2, pilots deploy -1. You may add a battle destiny, and the effect is canceled if opponent controls this system, which is highly unlikely to happen. He also pulls out combined fleet action. Makes ships power -2 if they don't have both a starfighter and a capital. But most importantly, at sites related to systems you occupy, they can't draw no more than one battle destiny, and once per turn, once during your deploy phases, you can get a combat vehicle from your reserve deck. So if he's going to do that little bit there, will help him. He'll get a combat vehicle if he has Rogue One. He could certainly put Luke in that and move him out to the 4th marker right now. Slightly risky to do it that way without Garrison in play. Oh, looks like he missed. There's a Bright Hope for free. Yeah, EBO and Haven is pretty sick. All your ships basically deploy -3. And since a good majority of light side ships cost about 4 or less, as we saw in the 2018 OCS playoffs, as a real strong opportunity to drop 7 or 8 ships all in one turn. And there's General Dodonna. Dodonna's a pilot? Does he add anything? Nope, he's just a pilot. Okay. I don't think I've ever used him like that before. Well, let's move over to the war room. He's got decent power up in space because he's got the capital and the Starfighter. So it's only for 4. EBO adds 3, gets him to actually 7. That number doesn't. The EBO only works during battles, so that's why this number here is a little deceiving. Plus, he gets 2 more for battling at Hoth for having the generals at the war room. So he's actually plus 5 there. So he's actually power 9. So even if something like Zuckuss were to come down, because he doesn't have more than 6 ability to draw Destiny there, he's still at power 9. So he's probably going to end up winning the battle, or at least tying. I don't know what Chris is playing for ships, if any, in his dark side deck. We certainly know that Fox got a turn 1 peak when he looked for the finalizer with Bow and didn't find it. So Fox has a really strong idea of exactly what Chris has for ships outside of what would have been in his starting hand or the 6 or 7 force he activated. I basically got to see 2/3 of his opponent's deck turn 1. And Chris will pull code clearance just in case there's any walker sighting. And then he will go ahead and pay to drain. There's a pause window here. I'm guessing Fox has a control tunnel vision in his hand. And it's giving him the option to cancel the drain or not. He's got the it could be worse, which he will pay now and reduce the drain by 3, which Chris will promptly grab. Does he have an Omnibox? It's worse. I'm going to guess no, probably not. Oh, looks like Chris is just going to concede the game. Realizing that he's already behind and he doesn't think he can outdamage and win anyway. So, all right. So there goes game number 2. Congratulations to Team Europe as they pick up their first point in the Outrider Cup series, with Fox winning his matchup against ChrisKelly. We've got a couple other games that have already played their first game. We saw Werfs and Bastion play Friday night. Silver Glen and a Rebel Spy started their game, but it crashed midway, so they're going to have to replay that one, I think. And then we'll have some other matchups. Ketwall, since you're in the chat, have you scheduled your matchup with Greg Shaw yet? Let's see if we can't figure out when they're going to play. He proposed some dates, okay? And I'm also, Emil and Justin were supposed to play yesterday, but apparently they canceled their game and are going to reschedule it at some point. We'll figure it out today or tomorrow. Okay, so we'll get that updated as well. Thank you guys for tuning in this morning. Sorry the second game didn't go a little bit longer and give us more to work with than a turn 3 concede. But everybody in the U.S., go enjoy your breakfast and your Sunday morning, and everybody in Europe, enjoy your Sunday afternoon. Go get your Christmas shopping done. But thank you guys very much for that, and for tuning in, for renewing your subscriptions, and we'll see you tomorrow for my show at 7 o'clock. Don't want to miss that one as we're doing our special holiday giveaway. But that's going to do it for now. You guys have a great day.